Shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay. Body's just saying it needs a pause until we go into terra bend. So we're just going to pause on that, but you are going to grab your ball. So hopefully you just have one because we're just going to use one. Okay. So we're going to work up and down through the body. So just for a little fun, let's just check in. I'm just going to move back. So I'm going to be moving up and down. You can keep the slimmer ball there. You can pull it out, but you want to find the belly of the calf. So we're going to do the calf as well. This leg can do whatever it wants. For me, it wants to come in. So yours might be wanting to be out. It's easier if the foot that you're rolling, the leg that you're rolling, it's off the mat because we're going to do cross fibering. And when you do cross fibering, it's easier if it slides. Yes. Aha. Ah, okay. So then you might go, okay, I'm going to lower it down a little bit. I want to go up a little bit. You're just going to the, yeah, you okay, Seamus? Yeah. So Seamus is building height. So that makes it a little bit harder. So we're going to stay a little bit lower. We don't want to load too much. This is already, I feel like, quite enough. Achilles, if you go down lower, it's your tendon, it's your calf tendon. It folds over your heel. So some of us might go, oh, I'm a little held there. I know for me, mine's a little bit up. This is where I hold. And it's where the tendon attaches to the muscle. So some of us have it's in the transition. Yeah. And so remember, you can just pause and you can hold it and you can lean back a little bit. And when we hold it, it's called a pin, right? A pin or compression. And then you can do what is called a stretch. So I really like this one. I found a spot. I'm going to externally rotate a little bit because my body's like, yeah, right there. And then what you can do is you can point the toes, which is an inhale, and then flex through the heel, which is an exhale. You just go back and forth. Yeah, good. And so now what it's doing is it's creating the slide and glide through the fascial adhesion. Exactly, because it goes into your heel and it wraps around to your heel. So that could be folding into what you're feeling in the hamstring. So the pain is appearing in hamstring, but it also might be this lower attachment that's held, right? That if you release this, then it releases all the way up to the hamstring and it no longer pulls for you on the sit bone, right? Because yours is the upper part of it into the sit bone. So if there's any kind of tension pulling down here, it's going to pull 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 here. So if it's tight here, right? So that's why we're working up the leg today to kind of feel it. You might, yeah, you might even feel it's in here if you roll down and put the ball. So we had a question around inner knee. Yeah. And see how I'm rolling in. Got one leg in. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there it is. And then I'm just going up and down and across. There it is. I'll sit beside you too so that you can see me. How's that feeling? In there? Yeah, so it could be above, it could be below, right? It's still there. I know. It's still appearing, right? We found, I remember before I left, we had found a spot too that we had pinpointed it. Right. I'm trying to remember. I'm going to just wait to see what is coming. So now, okay, you can also go into hamstring. Okay, so that's going to be above the knee. Sometimes, because you've got a little pooling station back here, I don't like to do a lot of pressure, but sometimes I'll go very lightly behind the back of the knee, ever so gently, like I'm lifting the pressure off. So it's not too much. And then you can even just hold there. And sometimes just to allow a little release, I find behind the knee, especially mom on yours, I know you get really tight there. Okay, so if the ball is too much, you can also use the slow-mo ball and put it behind the knee and just roll. Okay, then you can go up into the hamstring. Okay, same thing. We're going to go cross fibering today. So it's easier when you're on the floor because you can slide across the floor. Okay, so you're just going to work up from just above the knee, up a little bit higher. You just kind of slowly go up and you're going to feel spots and you're going to go, oh, that's starting to get a little bit more condensed. I was doing this last night before we ate dinner and I was like, oh, this feels really good. And you're just going to slowly inchworm yourself up through the belly of the hamstring. Yeah. And some areas you're going to go, that feels really good. In some areas it feels a little bit tight. So I'm going to also show you, I tried to use darker colors and the balls. So as you go over to the outside, you start to hit the iliotibial band. So there's a transition, right? From hamstring to the iliotibial band. So as you go out to the right, sometimes I'll externally rotate my leg so the inner thigh goes up, and then I roll a little bit into that iliotibial band. Yeah. What are you feeling? What are you sensing? Muscle there. Yes. Steady. Okay. Yeah. Don't feel it this way. Yeah, it's different, right? Yeah, you do feel it because it's a different movement. So what it's doing is instead of going with the muscle fiber, it's disrupting the muscle fiber in a way that it doesn't normally go. And when you have tight long, which is what we're working on, right? It's actually one of the better ways to release tight long in the body. It's just on the one side. Yeah. Yeah. Because it could be wrapping around. So when you have a hold sometimes on the outer, it could pull across. And so you could have what is called a spiral pull that you feel it on the inner knee. Okay. I think that's where now, just kind of recalling our conversation, and I think it was in the middle. Are you in the middle? Yeah, in the middle of your iliotibial band. Because the iliotibial band attaches onto the tibia and it affects the knee. So sometimes when the knee gets pulled out, you're going to feel pain on the inside as well. Yeah. So do one whole leg, and then you're just going to feel it. So some of you might have already gone through, but I always just like to lie down for a moment and feel one side to the other. So remember, when we affect and we release foot, calf, thigh, hamstring. We're going to affect the whole side of the body as well. So take your time. Start at the heel and the calf on the other side. No rush. Does it feel different? Yeah. This feels okay, so we've got terminology. I love this. So when you start to release, we've had terminology, it feels plumper, it feels fluffier, right? I love that. I use that a lot too. I'm like, oh, I feel fluffy. I almost feel like, when you like fluff a duvet cover, that's what it feels like, right? So you're more spacious. The layers have come apart, and that's what they're supposed to. They're supposed to have space in between the layers. They're not supposed to be stuck. When they get stuck, that's when problems start to happen in the body. Okay. Yeah. Because then we have stagnation. Stagnation is never good, right? Because things aren't passing through, right? That area. Yeah. Yeah. Good. You don't feel it in the inside of the knee. Good. You feel a little bit of slide and glide now happening, right? I can feel it. It's like diminished by like over half, right? Okay. Because I felt it before too. And then I was like, oh, what is that? Ah. So if you're feeling the body goes, yeah, I do need to do a little bit of combing, do it, right? Because sometimes the muscle does need to just lengthen out. So that's going with the grain of the muscle. So that's up and down. But then do some cross fibering. So I can't even remember how long ago. It feels like a long time ago, but I still feel the effects from it. I had a really bad ankle strain on this side, and I still feel different things in this side, especially right there. There. Yeah. So sometimes when you feel one area, I'll go up and down it a couple times. I'll hold it, and then I might go cross fibering. So you just listen. You've got three different tools here that you can go through. You okay? I just saw your eyes kind of like roll up and a little bit back. That one's deep. I've only ever seen you have that in the hamstring before, but that one's in the calf, right? Yeah. Tendon to belly of the calf, right? Yeah. So we sometimes don't realize Achilles, right? How it comes and it wraps around the heel and it comes up and then it attaches to, and we have two layers of calf muscles and then deeper calf muscles, right? Into the bones. We have the gastrocnemius and then underneath it is your soleus. And then we have the tibialis posterior muscle, which is your deepest muscle. Don't know where all that came from, but it was in there somewhere. Sometimes muscles just pop out and sometimes they don't. Uh, okay, so you just take your time. We're going to work up through the leg. And this is perfect prep, Jody, for your plane ride. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You're like, okay. For the long plane ride of sitting, you're like, okay, this is perfect to release the whole of the back of the legs. Ah. Okay. It's perfect. Yeah. So this is really good. Yeah. If you have like restless leg or like cramps that you get, just releasing the fascia because the fascia attaches to the nervous system, right? And so, or the nervous system flows through the fascia. It's better terminology. Not so bad, but in the Achilles tendon, it did. Or was it on that side? Okay. So it wasn't right Achilles tendon, it was left. Yeah. Yeah. So then I'm almost wondering too, have you right. So weaker side. Yeah. So there's kind of like a falling or a loading. I'd notice how you load from right to left. So over the next week, catch yourself. Okay. It will be like in between movements, right? Like you'll be at your counter, you'll do something, and then you pause and you go, okay, let's take a moment. What am I doing? Check in and then let me know. Okay. When you see me again. You remember. Yeah. So you could be maybe sometimes you drop and you kind of stop here, or you notice you're more in your toes, or you notice more in your heels, or, just kind of check in. Is it like one side that you tend to? Do you tend to stop in an external rotation? Okay. Just notice what your pattern is. Yeah. Maybe it's you tuck the pelvis under or outer heel. You- Yes, good. I was letting you do it. Yeah. So you're pronating in. So that foot could have a little bit of the toe picking up to strengthen the foot muscles so that it's not pronating in so much. Yeah. Okay. So when you're done, you're just going to lie down. And as you come down, whew, just feel into your body. Take a moment. Is there any last movements that you want to go through? So I edited a couple things because body were like, no, we don't want to do that. So we are at the end of class, which came so fast today. But I want you to check in and just see, do I need to do any spinal twisting on the floor? Do I want to draw my legs into the chest and give them a hug? my body's saying, oh, just do a little baby pose. I really love baby pose on my back. So you might draw your legs in, separate them, extend the shins and feet in the air. Sometimes arms come behind the legs. You can also grab ankles or feet. Some of you have the teraband, which is quite fun to put around the feet as well and widen it. And then you can just do a little play here. You can even feel extension and a little bending, maybe even just feeling one leg wants to have a little release after all that back line. You might let it flow up and down a couple times. Maybe some of you do know the leg stretch out to the side if your body does feel like, oh, I'm bringing left leg over to the right. These are just optional. Checking in. Does that one leg want to lift up and down a couple times? And just nice to bring in the springiness back into the fascia with the TerraBand. And you might feel the breath having any kind of pattern that it wants to as you lower the leg down and up. Sometimes the inhale wants to come on the lift, sometimes it wants to come on the lower. There's no kind of right or wrong way. You are lifting and lowering right leg, and you want to grab the strap into the left hand and bring the leg over to the right or over to the left a little bit. You can. I just want to let body just have a moment. Yeah, good. Teraband's nice, right? Because you have the little bit of the springiness that comes in with it too. You can take the bolster underneath the back of the knees or the thighs if you wish, or you can just rest flat on the floor. Head can have a little support. That feels a lot more fluid, especially after the leg stretches, Megan. Yeah, 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 yeah. Good. Lying here, you feel the right and left side are descending, yeah, evenly. Good. And Tina, too, I feel that too. You're descending evenly more now. Yeah, more even. I love how the terror band goes, we're done. Okay, so just take a few breaths. Feel yourself at the end of your practice today. Might be out the mouth and in the nose. Oh, and just let yourself be as you just rest, and there's no need to do anything but just to allow your body and your breath and the mind to all feel the effects of the practice. So there's a yoking, a union, a drawing of the many facets of the layers of your body towards an equal balance, awareness. The body feels more spacious. The breath is a quiet rhythm as it's just breathing through you now. It's dropped into its autonomic function. And the breath bridges the connection between the body and the mind and the thoughts and the emotions. So as we smooth out breath and practice, the mind starts to quiet a little bit. You feel that unraveling that's taken place. And any little moment of wisdom that came in where you had a little aha moment, if it arrived today. If not, that's okay too. And just notice yourself in your wholeness, always allowing our heart to be our guide. And like the central hub of our system, each time we come back to our heart and feel our breath, this gentle air of compassion, which is coupled with gratitude. What do we feel grateful for right now? And as we feel our attention resonate in the heart center, I'm going to share a piece of poetry I'll share with the recording, and it's from an author called Kaveri. The truth, the old truth, made you run 1,000 miles inside an arid desert, desperate for an oasis. As you rest and close your eyes, inhale the breeze of kindness, exhale the toxic judgments. Inhale the breeze of kindness and exhale any toxic judgment. And these toxic judgments, they dehydrate you like a prune. And we notice and feel the pain of our old patterns trapped in our tense muscles. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. To taste the salt of possibility, to just be, just breathe. Let the waves break against the silence, returning you to a new and deeper truth. Let the waves break against the silence, returning you to a new and deeper truth. I'll hover here for a couple more minutes and let us be in silence for a bit. Know that over the rest of the day and the subsequent days, the effects of this practice will keep rippling through body, mind, breath. Maybe moments of insight or wisdom arrive, or just bring you back into the moment. And that's a really beautiful gift. Thank yourself for showing up today, to creating this pocket of space for yourself to receive whatever it was that you needed today out of the practice. And as you meet yourself in wholeness, as you are, start to slowly let body move, Come back into the felt sense of body. Your fingers wiggling and arms moving to toes, wiggling and legs moving. The head to body to stretching to yawning, whatever you need. You release any props that aren't needed, and at your timing, no rush. Just roll to one side. If, when you're ready, you come up and sit. If your neighbor, if you're close by someone in the room and they're already seated, just move a little bit behind them or a little bit in front of them, just so that we all can have some space to move our arms. So remember, we can have the legs crossed. We can also straighten the legs. If you have the legs straight, just try to press the back of your calves and your hamstrings into the floor to activate the leg muscles to help you sit in a more upright, palms forward. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale as we gather up energy for ourselves. As the palms touch, you exhale and receive it as you draw a line in front of body through the skull, the throat, the torso, the pelvis. And you can do that again. Just scoop the energy out. And palms touch as you receive it on the exhale. And then the third time, bringing it up again at your timing. And just let hands pause, thumbs at the chest, the sternum. Feel palm to palm. Good. And we're just going to end, which is being called in to one movement. So we're just going to open the eyes and just let the forearms and the wrists come down to a place that feel comfortable to us. Then we're going to press left hand into right, and we're going to let the arms swing to the right. Okay, then right hand presses into left, and the arms swing to the left. No twisting through the torso. Left hand presses into right, arms swing to the right, right hand presses into left. Arms swing to the left. Just go side to side a couple more times. Just creating any ease through the shoulder girdle, just to make sure that we're not walking away with any tension there. And just let that slowly come to settle in center. Letting the shoulder blades slide across the rib cage. Take a deep breath in, let it out mouth. Oh, let's do that again. In nose, out mouth. And one last time. In nose, out mouth. May you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for coming. Good to see you online, Stephanie.